Right now at 11, a major move from a marathon budget session where $2 million meant for Portland police could land instead. Plus,
it's really hard when you have someone missing and you really want people to sit up and pay attention.
The new clue for the family of a missing West Lynn woman, where they're now asking people to be on the lookout. And later,
even if it's just one breath, being still, that's mindfulness, that's doing the work.
How a new Timbers coach is getting players trained up in emotional endurance. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko. First at 11, we're taking a closer look at one of the more controversial moves to come out of last night's 14-plus hour budget session at City Hall. We're talking about 7 figures slated for public safety now being moved to bolster maintenance at Portland Park. Solomon McCarty has our top story.
I do think that we should get to the amendments to take money from police and give it to parks, because that's the main event. That's what the fans paid to see.
City councilors waiting until the 11th hour to broach this subject.
This is not about reducing police effectiveness. It is about a balanced approach to public safety that includes well-maintained parks where families feel safe gathering.
This is not a cut to police. There will not be a single officer laid off.
Then came contentious discussion.
I don't want to be pitting these things against each other.
This council has been giddy to cut police all day long to get to this vote at the 11:35 point. This is not necessary.
If you vote for this, we are absolutely sending the wrong signal to the public.
Ultimately, councilors voted 7-5, approving $2 million to be moved from the Portland Police Bureau over to Parks and Recreation.
The best way I can explain it is it's the gap between surviving in this city and thriving in this city is where the Parks Bureau fits in. It's the thing that makes life a little bit better.
So what exactly does this all mean? Chief Bob Day said Thursday that the $2 million earmarked for PPB by the mayor would have helped right-size the Bureau, aiding in recruitment, hiring, and retention. On Wednesday, he told council that any reduction could have consequences.
There will be a reduction in services. How those services will show up, I don't know yet.
Meanwhile, Parks and Recreation Director Adina Long explained that $2 million would pay for cleaning, graffiti removal, roof repairs, and maintenance of dog parks, playgrounds, trails, lighting, and more.
Sustaining this funding is vital for Portland's parks to remain clean, safe, and functional.
As for the mayor, he said in a statement that they are looking at how the decision to pull the $2 million slated for PPB may, quote, impede efforts to recruit a next generation of law enforcement first responders, as well as the critical missions that get pounds of fentanyl and human trafficking victims off our streets. David?
I have a feeling this conversation has not done yet. Thank you, Alma. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, investigators say they had probable cause to arrest a police chief suspected of sex crimes before he died by suicide. As part of the final report on Charles Gardner's death, the Clark County Sheriff's Office says he committed crimes of sexual misconduct with a minor and sexual exploitation. They allege this had been going on for 6 to 9 months. Gardner was interim Cowlitz Tribal Police Chief when he was found dead in a car outside of Vancouver House in April. The sheriff's office later said the person who called 911 got into a fight with Gardner after discovering him in his home. 2 Salem women have been arrested for allegedly shooting a Corvallis man they met on a dating app. The Benton County Sheriff's Office says Julia Yepes and Alexa Corral, who are both 20, used the dating app to lure the victim early Saturday and intended to rob him. The victim survived and was hospitalized. We're showing you the photos because deputies add they believe the suspects may have done something similar in another county. Anyone with information should call the Benton County Sheriff's Office. And the Clark County Sheriff's Office is asking for help finding a missing 84-year-old woman from the Hawkinson area. Authorities say 84-year-old Millie, as we said, was last seen around 2 this afternoon. She is 5 feet tall with gray hair, hazel eyes, and wears glasses. At the time, she was wearing a lime green shirt and blue jeans. Authorities say she may also be confused and may forget her name. If you have any information or see Millie, call 911 immediately. And there is new information tonight in the search for another missing woman, this one an 81-year-old from West Lynn. Catherine Cook is here with the update. Catherine?
David, family members of Judith Roberts say a Douglas County Sheriff's deputy spotted her car on traffic cam video in Winchester Bay. Now, that sighting is now one of 3. all recorded Friday, and all of Roberts heading south on the Oregon coast.
It's really hard when you have someone missing and you really want people to sit up and pay attention and look for her too.
It's been nearly a week since Elizabeth Farley's mother, Judith Roberts, disappeared from her West Lynn neighborhood. You've probably seen the reader boards while driving. Police say Judith was last seen Friday in West Lynn, where she lives. She was driving a white 2017 Volkswagen Jetta, license plate 501JYP. It has a unique bumper sticker on the back that says, "I Heart Ojai." So far, Judith has been spotted 3 times, all on Friday. First, around 2:30 p.m. in Lincoln City, where she bought gas. Then, 2 hours later in Florence. And Elizabeth says her family just learned of a third spotting around 5 p.m. in Winchester Bay. Elizabeth says a Douglas County Sheriff's deputy found the video after reviewing traffic cam footage. She credits her brother, who spent 2 days driving up and down the coast, sharing flyers and meeting with law enforcement agencies. She says a Douglas County search and rescue deputy told her they're now organizing a search party.
Told me that she was going to be looking for my mom like she would look for her own mom. So, yeah, really touched me deeply.
Elizabeth says her mom suffers from cognitive decline and relies on thyroid medication.
She hasn't had that for 6 days, and that's another worry for us.
As the search for Judith Roberts continues, Elizabeth says the outpouring of support is not lost on her. She's grateful for all of it.
We're all being surrounded by a lot of care and love, and we really appreciate that. So just keep up the good thoughts and keep looking for her.
And we've reached out to the Douglas County Sheriff's Office about their efforts and are waiting to hear back. If you see Judith Roberts or her car, you're asked to call 911. Also, if you know anyone living on the central or southern Oregon coast, family members would be grateful if you shared this information with them. David.
Thanks, Catherine. Appreciate the update there. Okay, let's head outside now for a check on the weather with the holiday weekend so close. You can almost taste it, right? 56 degrees in the Rose City. And if you like sunshine, then we've got some great news. Matt Safino's here with the first look at your Memorial Day weekend forecast. Matt?
Yeah, David, it was a very cloudy day, but late in the afternoon, just before sunset, the clouds began to clear. And here is that process looking west from our Skycam at the Reserve Golf Course over in Washington County. There goes the sunset. So yes, it is happening, and we're partly cloudy and mainly clear right now. Tomorrow is going to be a great day. Getaway day for a lot of people as people get ready to head out for the holiday weekend, right? 49 in the morning, so not that cold. By 11 o'clock, we're up to about 60, mid-60s by 2 o'clock, and we'll make the low 70s tomorrow, right about average for this time of the year, and it will be mostly sunny. Sunrise for you early risers, 5:31, and sunset now 8:44 in the afternoon, which is great. The headlines for the holiday weekend: we get the clearing overnight tonight, mainly sunny and warmer this weekend, but thunderstorms and showers will develop over the Cascades as early as Sunday afternoon. The exact placement and timing, we'll have to wait and see on that. And we've got a chance of seeing some more over the valleys on Monday, but you're going to love the high temperatures for the Memorial Day weekend forecast, David.
Thanks, Matt. We'll see you in a few. This evening, we're taking a look at a side of the Portland Timbers you won't see anywhere else. A new member of their coaching team focused entirely on mental wellness. It's part of our Talk About It series. It's our commitment to highlight the people helping break the stigma around mental health. And it sounds a little bit like Dr. Sharon on Ted Lasso. Well, for this Paralympian, that's exactly the point.
I have found in my life that I've been the first of a lot of things, and it is exciting, but it's scary and sometimes really exhausting, right? There's no model to chase after. I'm Lacey Henderson, a Paralympian, an amputee, and I'm the first mental performance coach for the Portland Timbers.
And a cancer survivor who at the age of 9 lost her right leg. Though that didn't stop her from following in her father's footsteps, eventually becoming a U.S. national champion in track and field, breaking an American record in the long jump and a world record in the pole vault.
Being a woman, having a disability, being an amputee, a cancer survivor, how do you think that impacts how the team views you?
It's a very straightforward way of explaining that I also have had a complex life and that I know pain and I know struggle.
Good morning.
At the Timbers practice pitch,
Come on, guys, focus.
Lacey keeps a close eye on the action.
Let's go. Half of it right now, since it's new for me still, is like learning soccer.
Though, as an athlete who co-hosted NBC's Paralympic coverage from Paris,
That it's not para-Olympian, it's Paralympian.
and who is now navigating her own retirement,
Uh-oh. Did I make all the wrong decisions in my entire life leading up to this point? Should I have done different? I have anxiety. I think a lot of it may be PTSD from cancer.
those feelings are pretty universal.
What do you do to take care of your own mental health?
Well, I'm still working with a sports psychologist. What's unique about sports specifically is like you put your body on the line every day for a career that's typically a pretty short window, and you feel like an island a lot of times. Let's go!
And as the team's first certified mental performance consultant some 6 months in,
The idea is to build emotional endurance while it gets really hard.
Lacey's working to improve the way the players and other coaches connect with each other
Yes, I do.
and with themselves.
The potential for high performance happens when you are doing well mentally. We're not just a head floating above a body, right? They need to be connected.
And perhaps her biggest cheerleader, head coach Phil Neville.
You talk about the technical side of the game, the tactical side of the game. For me, that's probably only a small percentage. The mental side of the game is more important.
Because he remembers what it was like to be a superstar. And at the age of 23, playing for Manchester United, what it was like to struggle.
I had the talent, I had the ability, I had won games, I played at the biggest level, but I stopped having fun. I went in to see the psychologist and I was nervous. I thought I was weak. I didn't want anyone to know.
Though talking about it, he says, changed the course of his career.
It became not a stigma for me. It became one of my superpowers. Going to see that psychologist, I shouldn't have been embarrassed about. I think that is something that I now preach as a coach.
You need to see Lacey.
Yeah, todo está bien?
It's almost as if you're normalizing it in a way.
Literally, that is what it is. At the start, there was 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and now there is 2 feet in.
Well, we'll just start where we are right now. Let's take a breath in together.
In the Timbers locker room,
There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to be.
Lacey guides us through a grounding exercise. The team now does this before every game to clear their minds.
This is your safe space whenever you need it.
And focus on the moment.
I get 2 minutes. I get about 2. Every now and then I'll squeeze in 3.
2 minutes?
Yeah, 2 minutes can make a difference. It's not about the amount of time you spend. This is consistently showing up. So even if it's just one breath, being still, that's mindfulness. That's doing the work. That's practice.
And as we head to the sidelines,
what's the feeling you get when you walk out here?
It's a moment of peace.
We learn Lacey's new role is about much more than just performance on the pitch.
I'm trying to allow the moments where an athlete can just accept where they are.
Teaching the Timbers a whole new language around mental wellness.
At least start the conversation, maybe even change that conversation.
Yes,
too.
yep.
That can help them grow and evolve, not only as players,
It's a balance, it's a dance.
but as people.
One, it's a message to the athletes that it's something they should take serious for themselves. And 2, it's a message, I think, for the league, for greater sports in general, that this needs to be prioritized. I think it's important to talk about it because it's better out than in, baby. If you can name it, you can tame it. And I think that's the work, is just talking.
And she's just getting started. So day-to-day for now, that might look like mindfulness and meditation, post-game mental debriefs, and even one-on-one sessions to figure out what players and even other coaches need to perform better both on and off the pitch. We have much more with Lacey Henderson streaming on our free TV app. It's KGW Plus, including why she thinks it's important to be a visible woman with a disability in mainstream men's professional sports, and what head coach Phil Neville does to take care of his mental health. Just look for Talk About It Timbers on demand on KGW Plus.